he is responsible for it. He should have taken responsibility of it. Number two, he should have recused himself and said that let any other judge hear because it is this thing. Right now, it appears as if he is on a vendetta that, okay, I called you cockroach, you rebelled, you did this, you got beaten, fine. I'm not going to do anything. We are shocked at the insensitivity of the Supreme Court when children of the age of 16, 18, girl child children, whom we are supposed to protect, are beaten mercilessly. They are crying on the streets. For what? It is not that a Supreme Court judge is a god who has fallen from heaven, and just because we call him my lord, he becomes actually a lord, or he starts believing that he is a lord. No, he is also subject to same human frailties that any other human being is. It's a pre-appropriate time for Justice to redeem himself in the eyes of the people of this country. He has lost that opportunity.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. We've been seeing heart-wrenching videos of police brutalities on the student protesters. I don't want to describe that because it's really painful to watch your students face this kind of consequence, at the hands of the Delhi police. But the most shocking has been the reaction by the Supreme Court. What has the Supreme Court said today? What has Chief Justice of India, Justice Suryakant, said is more and more shocking. Now, Supreme Court today refused to allow an urgent listing of a petition raising the issue of the Delhi police attack on student protesters in the national capital during the protests called by the Cockroach Janata Party seeking the resignation of Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan over exam paper leaks. Now, the lawyer, what did Chief Justice of India, Justice Suryakant, told the lawyer? He said, don't waste our time and don't waste your time. This is what Justice Suryakant had to tell the lawyer who mentioned the matter. The lawyer then said that the students are raising an important issue such as the proper conduct of the NEET exam and reforms in the National Testing Agency. And cutting the lawyer short, Chief Justice of India said, thank you very much. So that was the curt, insensitive reply of Chief Justice of India, Justice Suryakant. Now, when the lawyer said that there are videos showing police excesses, then the CJI says, we are not interested in videos we don't have time to watch. Now, and just yesterday, the Delhi High Court had refused to urgently hear a similar matter, saying that please don't drag the courts into this. Joining me this evening on this particular issue is lawyer and activist Arun Agarwal. Thank you, sir, so much for joining. And it's really shocking the way Chief Justice of India responded. In fact, he's the one who gave rise to the word cockroach, this entire cockroach movement, what we see on the streets playing out. Thank God, thanks to Chief Justice of India, Justice Suryakant. And today he says, we don't have time to see the footage. Thank you very much. Don't waste your time. Don't waste our time.
Good evening, Niluji. This is a very unfortunate statement, but it is not a surprising statement. In fact, I would be watching with great interest at what excuse does he give to wriggle out of this delicate situation, a situation of his own making, where he virtually, one cannot use the word abuse, but virtually use the wrong words to describe this unemployed Generation X, which is the creation of this government by spoiling the education system as well as the job situation. And after having said that, when the whole thing snowballed within 24 hours, he did not even have the guts next day to own up to his statement, but he said that it was misreported, whereas everybody had heard the original version due to the live streaming as to what he had said about these people. He had definitely used the word cockroaches, which was which he did not mention when he tried to walk back that statement. So that shows how far this Chief Justice is truthful, or he is willing to own up to his statement. There are any number of such examples. When the Chief Election Commissioner's appointment case came up and the government was about to appoint him, he said that consequences will follow if the government will appoint. And I will take the case after a week after the holy holidays, which holy holidays extended to the next holy holidays. And meanwhile, the same controversial Chief Election Commissioner whose appointment he was supposed to decide, he rubber stamped every decision of his by committing the judicial wing of the government, or government of this thing, to the entire SIR. And that too acted in a very partial manner in Bengal, about which we will come to later. So here there are two flaws. Number one, he should have recused himself. As you can see, even Rajdeep Sardesai is saying that he is responsible for this entire entire episode snowballing because of his off-the-cuff, unjustified, injudicious remark. A Chief Justice forget a justice, a good human being in any responsible position, a judge of a lower court, high court, or Supreme Court has no business to talk in this manner and describe people as cockroaches. As what does it signify?
You took Rajdeep Sardesai's name. We've pulled out the tweet, what he wrote. Rajdeep has written that, don't forget, it took the CJI's reference to the word cockroach to finally trigger youth protests. Now when videos of students allegedly being beaten or dragged were cited, the court says it has no time to watch them. Makes you wonder, what does our justice system choose to prioritize? Yes, Arunji.
So there are two things that follow from
there's another tweet by Kunal Kamra. He says that my lords are busy watching India's Got Latent. Yes, Arunji.
Yes, that is a pun on India's Got Talent, Beer Bicep, whom he gave relief, and for whom Chandrachud's son was appearing, and he did a feign rebuke and all that, but ultimately gave him relief to continue his show. So when you want to be aware, you are aware. When children are being beaten up, then you pretend that you are not even aware, nor do you want to see the videos and make yourself aware. But out of that tweet, two questions follow. Number one, he is responsible for it. He should have taken responsibility of it. Number two, he should have recused himself and said that let any other judge hear, because it is this thing. Right now, it appears as if he is on a vendetta, that okay, I called you cockroach, you rebelled, you did this, you got beaten, fine. I'm not going to do anything. Now, suppose if this is my interpretation of the chain of events that have taken place, what answer does he have? The second duty that he had was, if he did not have time, he should have asked all his brother judges whether they have time or not. Just because we have a monopoly over the rooster, you say neither do I have time, nor the entire Supreme Court has time, nor the High Court has time. Then why are you all sitting there? You have earned enough. Your assets were worth 100 crores according to your real estate agent Satish Jain in 2012. Please let somebody else preside. We are shocked at the insensitivity of the Supreme Court when children of the age of 16, 18, girl child children, whom we are supposed to protect, are beaten mercilessly. They are crying on the streets. For what?
No, but the very statement when Chief Justice of India says that we don't have time, don't waste your time, don't waste our time, thank you very much. Now, this kind of a statement, is he trying to wash his hands off from this entire students' protest so that, more and more, please don't come up? And even the response coming from the Delhi High Court saying that don't drag the courts. So which means that the courts have become non-responsive. They have become inert absolutely. They will not deal with this issue entirely. Does it mean that? Does it indicate that?
Why can't one go one step further and say that they are enjoying the vendetta that the government is taking on behalf of the Supreme Court's remark, which led to the formation of Cockroach Party? Can I not conclude this? let alone intervene. You are thinking, all right, you protested against me. Now you deserve to be beaten up. And when you get beaten up, I have this silly excuse that neither I have time nor any other of the 35 brother judges and 2 sister judges have time. I tell you, you just pick up the phone, and he should have asked Justice Nagratna if she had the time. She would have not only had the time as a mother, as a sensitive judge, she would have done full justice and taken this government to task.
No, but you said that in all the morality.
ना सुनने दूंगा, ना खाऊंगा, ना खाने दूंगा, ना वोट बेमानी से रोकूंगा और बेमानी करने दूंगा. 3 axioms, 3 institutions.
No, you said that in all the morality, Justice Suryakant should not have been part of the bench at all. He could have recused himself from hearing this matter.
Why is it that he is hearing all the sensitive matters of the government? Is he beholden to the government for having made him Chief Justice of India for all the allegations that are there with him, with the government which it verified and cleared his appointment? See, we respect the judiciary, we don't ask questions. But when you push the younger generation to the wall, and we have to see that, I am telling you, the huge number of people in this country are mentally upset. They are losing their sleep. People have gone from Bombay, Bangalore, and what or not places, taken a flight to show their solidarity. Ordinary citizens. That is the extent of pain that they have to endure when they are seeing innocent children of the age of 16, 17 being beaten up. And nobody given them even secure or mandate for nothing. And beating them mercilessly with nails in their lathi, getting hired goons of RSS to be without wearing any identification and beating them up.
Was this not the most appropriate time for the courts, whether it is the Delhi High Court or the
Supreme Court? It was the most appropriate time for to redeem himself in the eyes of the people of this country. He has lost that opportunity.
No, but he has. You rightly put it that this was the most appropriate opportunity for Justice Suryakant to redeem himself. But rather than redeeming, rather than taking a suo motu cognizance, doesn't his statement almost go to show that the courts have just shut shop as far as this particular issue is concerned? They don't want to deal with this at all.
The court has always shut shop. As far as the government is concerned, it will allow government to do whatever it likes. That is how that institution in the person of Suryakant has been positioned, so that government has a free run during his entire tenure. There is something predictability about it, which came about in the article of 30th January of Caravan, and later on the appointment made by Gogoi of elevating him to the Supreme Court with the forewarning that he was going to do so, and not even mentioning a word in his autobiography as to why he chose a person, Justice Suryakant, for elevation to the Supreme Court with all the allegations that were there. He talks about allegations of various other judges, but he never talks about this particular allegation, which was in public domain and which was in his notice, brought to his notice by a letter written by the Judicial Accountability Forum, Center for Judicial Accountability, run by Prashant Bhushan. There we are. We know the reason. It is nothing which is surprising. But Justice Suryakant should also know that his tenure will come to an end. Government is not notifying, or maybe it may notify that Supreme Court judges get an extension of 5 years, so he remains Chief Justice for another 5 years. And High Court judges also get 5 years extension. You never know. With this government, they can do anything and everything. No Chief Justice has given pass to the government and the Election Commission as Justice Suryakant has done.
No, but any other judge apparently could have taken cognizance of this issue. But do you think that this kind of a response coming from the Delhi High Court, or for that matter from Justice Suryakant, does it go to show that they've got certain directions from the government? The government must have told that you have to be inert absolutely to this issue. Just don't respond, don't entertain any plea whichever comes, even though they are coming with evidence. The video footage is an evidence of the police barbarity.
You see, the government has said nothing. They are doing it themselves. I give you an example. When we saw visuals on the evening when of Manipur, where two naked women were being paraded by the mobsters, and they were assaulted sexually and all that. It was late at night that video appeared. It was not in the evening or something. I remember very clearly. Justice Chandrachud, the moment he entered the court, he took the matter suo motu. And whatever he could do, he did. It is another matter, nothing came out of it. There was an afterthought, everything was whitewashed. All that is true. He set up a SIT, all that. That showed the sensitivity of the judge to a gross incident which had taken place in the country. Here, I'm sure when he can see what has happened in Australian Got Talent or whatever program, it's all over. That is the only news of yesterday. The beating up of the children by an insensitive police, the brutality with which they were beaten up. So he was quite prepared.
No, but
Not only he did not take it suo motu, but when the matter comes up, this is going to be my response. So as I said in the beginning,
legally, sir, if I may ask you the legal basis of how the police is behaving, isn't it against the Juvenile Justice Act? You are beating up 14-year-old students who are there on the street. We saw videos of girls, they are being attacked on their private parts. I mean, that video one just can't see.
You forget juvenile. It is POSCO. They have been molested by these male police people.
Right.
And you know what is the good thing about this protest, unlike that 2012-13 protest? Everybody has shot videos on their camera. That you could not take it away by taking away, by giving up the internet.
No,
Yes.
but that's thank God to the YouTube proliferation, I guess, because of that.
Yes. And there were a lot of conscious media people also who were doing the shooting. So everything is recorded. Where will you go? You can shut down the internet, but can you snatch all the cameras that are there? So there is a recording of everything that has happened, and cameras don't lie. That is why he had the pen drive, and that is why he didn't want to hear and he didn't want to see. If I don't hear, if I don't see, I will only speak, then I don't have to speak. So I'm following Gandhi. Don't see evil, don't do evil, don't hear evil.
What is the hope left in this kind of a scenario when the government has become non-responsive? Look at what happened yesterday. The way leader of the opposition Rahul Gandhi was dragged and stuffed into the police van. Then today there were huge protests in Parliament. There was a black protest. They all wore black clothes and they protested. So here is a government who's deaf and dumb, can't hear the shrill voices of our student. And then almost the courts also have become deaf and dumb. So what does one do? What is the hope left now for the students? Where is this agitation of the movement going to head to if there is no one to hear their voices?
See, authority has become authoritarian. So you can't expect any of this thing. The biggest takeaway is this, that your brutality has finally woken up the Gen Z generation and the millennium, who are the worst sufferers. Children are seeing through these andhbhakt parents. They are seeing how these people have used religion first to get votes and then to earn money. They are not fools. They have seen in this particular incident how they were denied entry into the Hanuman Mandir and other adjoining Mandir when the police came after them, and they were allowed entries into masjids and gurdwaras. This is also a talk of the protesters over there. They were given succor by those institutions rather than your own temples, which have become a money-making, vote-making institution.
Look at Swiggy and Zomato. How
Yeah.
they are trying to serve food. Congress Seva Dal is working in a hyperactive mode. I mean, these are things worth talking about as far as this agitation is concerned. How they are coming to the protection of all these students, sir.
See, if you lose trust of the younger generation, you lose it totally. All your shakhas and misuse of all that indoctrination will go to dust now. That people see how these shakhas and this RSS and this BJP walas have exploited them in the name of religion. Ram ke naam. That movie is 200% relevant now. As far as Anand Patwardhan is concerned, hats off to him. So that is the takeaway, not the failure of these institutions. These men will come and go. They'll be bitten to dust. So you can be very sure that this apathy and this indifference and leaving them to the wolves is going to backfire on these very people. They will be the biggest sufferers, if not today, if then tomorrow, when the history of this period is written. I'm sure Justice Suryakant will have a very, in fact, the most special place in the history of the Chief Justices of this country, which will be surpassed by that other judgment that you remember, of which Justice Chandrachud and the senior Chandrachud and other judges were a part of. Worst thing that has happened.
There were heart-wrenching videos of students telling the policemen that go back home and ask your children how many children you have beaten or how many children you've lathi charged. There were parents. I saw videos of mothers there, and one of the mothers said that I've got my 2 sons here just to face your lathis. Now come on, beat them. And the mother stood in front of the camera and she said, I offer my children. You beat them as much as you want. What does one say?
See, we are sensitive people. These people are not. They only understand power and money. That is the currency that they deal. They have emotionless. They have no emotions left because they have compromised.
But Arunji, the biggest challenge is that how do you shake the conscience of a court which has almost died?
How do you shake the conscience of a person who does not have one? Could you shake the conscience of Hitler, Eichmann, all the Gestapo people? Can you shake the conscience of Netanyahu, of Trump, of Modi? Can you concede that they don't have one? They only see the currency of power and money and making people suffer to the extreme. They are not moved by the killing. Why do you think that today a Muslim mayor of New York is more popular amongst Jews while calling for the arrest of Netanyahu?
True.
Because it speaks the truth and it does work which is praised all over, and he also says that I am protecting this anti-Zionism will not be tolerated by this New York State, and he means it when he says that. But here it is nothing like that.
No, but Justice Suryakant very well knew that what is going to be the impact of a statement when he says that we are not interested in videos, we don't have the time to watch, don't waste our time and don't waste yours. Is he going to have a peaceful sleep tonight after saying that, making that statement?
No, he will have a peaceful sleep. The rest of the country will not sleep. That is their motto. But let me tell you one thing. After he retires, he will live to regret this statement all his life. And may God give him a long life. He will live to regret it, that he made this statement on this day. And if he has any sympathy, he should walk back that statement and say that no, rethought the matter, I am allotting this matter to another judge. I am overburdened by my weekends, lectures. I'm overburdened by the BJP hosting some chief minister or the other, hosting him in some function in some part of the country. I've
No, but
got too much.
isn't this like another blunder? I still remember the kind of clarification he gave when he made the use of the word cockroach. He said that the criticism was directed solely at individuals who managed to enter professional fields such as the legal bar, media, and social media using fake and bogus degrees. That's how he was clarifying. Now, today also, do you think that Justice Suryakant is going to clarify after making such a callous and insensitive statement like this?
Do you think, by today's statement, do you think he regretted that statement? He is too much caught up in the wheels of the power that he enjoys right now. He will have the leisure to regret when the day he retires. And believe me, he will. Then he will see how history is judging him. Today he is caught up in that entire trapping of this, this system that has to offer, chartered flights, people bowing down, kowtowing, all these facilities, Benzes, all that you have. You are trapped in that bubble. He's living in a bubble, and the bubble will end as it has entered for all these chief justices. Then he will have the leisure. And then he will read up and he realize what he did and what opportunities he had. But at the end of the day, I must draw your attention to one statement of his, which I hope he does not believe in and does not, when he retires also. He has said that it is far more, personal relations in life are far more important than professional acclaim. So he is not looking to professional acclaim. What does professional acclaim mean? Doing the right thing, being known for the justice that you have done to the people of this country. That alone is professional acclaim. And that is a statement when he made. That time he had not done all these things. That too went viral among the lawyers who understood the import of that statement and is living up to that statement. So there is nothing to be surprised. But believe me, when you retire, then you are judged. And then
do you see a possibility? Do you see a possibility of all these students, because after they are rebuffed from the courts like this, do you think that the students can now spill over, their protests can spill over in and around the Supreme Court and the Delhi High Court as well?
It may or it may not. I mean, people, mob doesn't. You can't predict the next action of the crowd or the mob or how they are hurt or what will happen. They have to always react to the present situation. The atrocities of yesterday brought in many more people who could not bear the atrocity and thought that it was their duty to be with their brethren over there. And in that empathy they came. There were people who have come from far away places like Bihar, Orissa, etc., especially the Bimaru state, and not knowing where they will get shelter and where they will get food. It is the generosity of Sikhs, not the Hindus, temples, that are giving them shelter and food. They are there now, they are also seeing through this game for themselves that how RSS and BJP have misused the name of Ram for getting votes and notes. So it is a very good education process for the entire Gen X. They are the persons who have to vote and take care of the future. Once you alienate them, you are finished. That is the biggest harm that is being done. They understand. Whether they come to this conclusion or say that he is the person who called us cockroach and all that, that is a different matter. That I don't think even the leaders are not targeting, because ultimately the Supreme Court is taking full advantage of the fact that people have to go to it to get justice. So that is their, for a lack of better word, their power or their blackmailing authority. That how if you say something when you come to us, I will take revenge. Like he did today. You formed a party, you did this. I don't have time, get lost. What was this? So
it's very painful.
Human and the power dynamics. It is not that a Supreme Court judge is a god who has fallen from heaven. And just because we call him my lord, he becomes actually a lord. Or he starts believing that he is a lord. No, he is also subject to same human frailties that any other human being is. And there are number of judges who admit to it. And those who admit, there have been wonderful judges. They say we are not infallible. It is said that Supreme Court is not infallible. It is infallible because it is the last court. It is the final court. Where do you go from there? So, all taken into account, it has been a very bad day for the Supreme Court as an institution to have said, they could have said something else instead of giving it to, say, Justice Nagaratna or Justice Bhuiya, or that other judge who was there. He could have done that, but let it be. It is good that the youth of tomorrow, who's this thing, they are seeing Supreme Court for what it is. I'm very happy.
It's painful, but as a journalist, I would just urge.
Has come out today, and it will become the top trending topic on Twitter. You just watch.
It has already become, and I, as a journalist, I'm wanting to urge Justice Suryakant, because he doesn't stay very far off from Jantar Mantar. Just go and see the children, how they are fighting, what they are saying. You can't be so blind. And I'm just reminding Justice Suryakant of the statement which he made in May. That's not far off. You said, sir, that India's youth are the true pillars of a developed India. Just go by your statement and see what they are going through. It's very, very painful to see this statement coming from a Chief Justice of India. Really, it almost seems that Chief Justice has degraded himself in the eyes of the very youths whom he called that they are pillars of a developed India. Very sorry, very painful, but I'll have to end the program on this note. Thank you so much, Arunji, for joining. Thank you.